this video, I show you how I made my homemade roll bar slash harness bar, whatever hoop you want to call it. Put in bucket seats along with 4-point harnesses. I'm not running 5-point. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna start doing something different besides the firewall, and I have a good reason. One, the paint hasn't shown up yet, nor has the delete plate, so I'm gonna move on to something else. I got a seat finally, and I want to get it test fitted. The reason being because the column shifter is not gonna work. It's a linkage design when I'm gonna need a cable, so I might as well put a floor shifter in it. And then I was like, well, if I need a floor shifter, I know I want different seats, so I might as well get different seats. And then I was like, well, I want to do harnesses in my seats, so I'm gonna need a harness bar, so I'm gonna need a roll bar, and basically now I'm gutting the interior, is what I'm saying. Okay, gotcha. Got the seat out. I gotta go get a vacuum. This guy, like I don't know if I ever told you guys, but this thing has a really nice sound system in it, which is kind of funny because I probably won't have the radio on that much. But yeah, it's got a, like, this subwoofer's like $600 or something. And then that is probably not very cheap. I mean, this guy really, he told me when I bought it, he was like, hey man, it's got a nice sound system in it. And yeah, I probably overpaid for this truck a little bit, but this sound system alone kind of makes up for it. All right, we got her vacuumed up. It's a lot better anyway. Next, I got to get the seat bracket off of that. I got to drill out some rivets. I'm going to try to use the seat bracket off of this and put it on the new seat. I guess we're going to try to get it mounted tonight. Well, I don't have any bolts, so we won't get it mounted, but we're going to try. All right. I'm going to try to reuse the stock brackets. I got to clean them, but I got to see if they fit first. We're on to some other day. Kind of lost track of them at this point, but the OEM seat brackets are going to work. I just cut out the rivets and I'm repainting them black because they were actually just raw steel. So getting those repainted right now, you know, it'll rebuild. And we'll get those bolted to the seat. And that way we can actually fit the seat and make sure, you know, get it a little bit more mounted. Okay, seats are out. Now I just got to clean all this. Just give me a second. No, you're not seeing things. I got a roll hoop with a harness bar. We're gonna be throwing her in here. So I gotta measure from basically that platform to like ½ inch below the ceiling. Just to make sure I don't hit that. And we'll measure that, get that cut. No, I'm not welding it to the frame. I know this is basically gonna be more for looks than anything, but I'll try to do it as good as I can. Okay, so 37 inches is where we should be good, where this isn't gonna hit the top of the cab, but it's also not gonna hit the dome light in the middle. So, that being said, I've got that lined up straight with there. I need a Sharpie. I'm gonna draw a line from there, and yeah. All right, got one side off. Next, we're gonna line that up with there. I got it angled the right way where I wanna draw the line. I'll draw the line and get this cut and try to fit her up. And this is how you check to make sure that your bottoms are gonna be level. See, on this one, I've still gotta get a little bit off on this side to make sure it's a lot more flush. See how there's a gap right there? Yeah, we don't want that. All right, so as you can see, this one is really good. There's almost no gap all the way around. So that one's very level. Now we're gonna do this one. I'm over at Mark's house. Thank you, Mark, for letting me use your power. What I'm going to be welding is going to require just a little bit more power, a little bit more watts. So instead of melting an extension cord, I figured I'd come over to Mark's shop and just use something where I don't burn something down. So I've got my 2 plates here. I've got my hoop over there. I'm going to get the hoop. I've got the plates already cleaned off, so those are ready to go. The hoop is going to be next. What I want to do with the hoop is just get an edge to the both ends of the hoop that are going to be in contact with the plates, and just get enough where I got a little gap in there so you can fill it in with the weld. Okay, let's get to it. Oh yeah. Yup. basically, I just gotta make sure this is straight. Okay, so what I gotta do now is I gotta start my own custom notching right here. I already started on this one, so we're gonna get that one closer and get it to fit up higher. We'll get this one fitting in the right spot, get that tacked up. Then we start stacking some poorly dimes. All right, got that tube fitted up. Look how clean that is. That's right, that's gonna weld nice. I measured it, it's pretty even, as you can tell. And yeah, so I'm gonna tack this in and get rolling on the next thing. Yep, tacked in. All right, time to weld. Oh, no. Okay, done. Got this all welded up. I'm gonna clean off all the splatter and get her coated with primer and then paint. Not too bad. This took time, but I mean, this is gonna be sweet. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, this is gonna be sweet. All right, on to the next part. We're back for another day. Got the roll bar. She's all welded up with the harness bar. Throwing it in the truck. Gonna get the bolts marked. Drill those out and try to get the bolts in. We'll see how it goes. Okay. I got a different drill bit. You'll understand why. I have been fighting getting these holes drilled. We're close. I had to get different length bolts. I had to go through some different supports. So I had got longer bolts. That's one. Then I got some shorter bolts for some different holes. There's going to be, we're going to make it work, all right? Believe it or not, they did not design these things to fit a roll bar. Could you believe that? Anyway, let's get back into it. I give up. There goes $20. And I smashed my pinky. It's really close. It's just not there. You know what I mean? All right. We got her welded up. The plates are on. That's going to help a lot more. So it's kind of like a makeshift 4-point harness bar / roll bar. It's a lot safer than what it was. We're back in the paint booth, folks. I.e. my shed outside. But we got light. We got it cleaned off in here. Probably should have wet the floor, but that's okay. So I've got this scuffed and sanded. So this is ready for primer. I added on these plates that we talked about before. So this is going to be a lot safer. If this thing comes off, it's because the cab ripped in half. So I've got bigger problems. Next, I'm going to clean these off. I've got some brake clean over there and a rag, and we'll just get it cleaned off and primer whatever isn't primered already and go from there. Well, the first coat's on. I'm going to throw at least 2 more on there, especially on the plate. This I don't really care that much about, like if it looks really uniform. The plate I really want to look good because that is going to be like front and center in the engine bay. So if that looks like crap, it's going to make everything else look like crap. Okay, we're ready to throw some paint on this thing. We got the spectral paints, gloss black, single stage. We're going to coat her up in that and she's going to look mint. That's after the first coat. We'll get her better in the next one. Get her a lot more filled in. All right, it's day 1000 of this. We're gonna put this bad boy, she's prepped and ready. I gotta widen out some of these holes. That's why I got the Dremel right there, but we're gonna get it put in and we're gonna drill out all the holes in the back and try to get this done today. Yeah, I would have made my dad proud on this one. You're probably watching this, Dad, so. But anyway, I couldn't get the wrench down in there with the box end to get it on right, so I just put some tape on it on the open end and got the nut started. So yeah, if you guys ever have a hard to reach place, just get some tape and it's easier to hold it. It's in. Let's go, dude. She's all bolted down. So what we got is 16 half-inch bolts holding this thing. We got 8 in the back, 8 in the bottom. If this thing comes out, I've got bigger problems. Now, got to put the trim piece back, 2 side pillars back with the 3-point seatbelt harnesses because I'm not getting rid of those for long road trips. It's better to have those instead of my 4 points that indubitably will get me killed. So this was like one of my most custom videos yet. In terms of the harness, the hoop with the harness bar, I've never done any, I mean, that was more welding than I've ever done other than practice welding. So that was a great experience, welding tubing for I've welded a couple times, but you know, this was pretty new. You know, just getting it right. I had to double pass some stuff, but also I'm so happy with how this turned out. I mean, I fit like a glove in here, man. It's awesome. Now, remember, the point of all this was so I could figure out where to put the shifter because I'm going away from the column shift. We're going to a floor shifter. So now that I've got all of this put in, I can actually know, okay, it's going to be right here. Yeah, this is where we're going to want it. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm actually like, this is exciting because this is one of the things where you see a lot of progress. And one, I'll be safer when I'm being probably stupid with this truck when it has a lot more horsepower than it does now. But just really happy. Appreciate you guys watching this. If you could please subscribe, that'd be awesome. It helps me out. Please like this video, and we'll see you guys next time. I got to figure out what I want to do next. I'm thinking fuel. All right, we'll see you later.